Please excuse the mess. I figured it was about time I did an update on the Lawley, how we're making out with that. So we'll just do a quick walk around there. You can see the rudder is hung and the steering has yet to be completed. Looking in through the back, that orange tray holds the two batteries. Beside that, you're probably not able to see it. There's an ignition coil. I'm mocking up the steering system. The bulkhead is, for all intents and purposes, in. And you can see that Kingfisher engine there, the exhaust that's routed out through the bulkhead, which ultimately will go out through the transom. And so routing the steering and the exhaust is one of the next items, not too far away anyway. And then we'll be thinking about putting in the seats and so on. This stuff here, this mess, it's just a mock-up. It's just rough ideas is what I'm working with right now. So as we come forward from the bulkhead, this side first, you can see my main fuel tank under the seats. And it is a non-vented tank. There's a reason for that. And then we work our way up towards the bow with the seats there. You can see that the floors are in, but there are no soles. Soles will come along later. And the seats, in fact, are not permanently installed either. That's why the blue tape. And again, looking back down towards the bulkhead, you can get a pretty good look at the transfer pump and the header tank. So there'll be a line going from the main fuel tank to the transfer pump, from the transfer pump to the header tank. There will be a vent line. I said that the main fuel tank was not vented. The vent line from the main fuel tank will run up to the header tank. So the main tank will be vented through the header tank. The header tank is vented. The main fuel tank holds roughly 15 liters. The header tank holds less than 5 liters. It's probably around 4 liters, so you can figure out how much capacity we've got there. So the idea is that the way you fuel this, there'll be a fuel filter downstream of the main fuel tank. Put fuel in the main fuel tank, transfer it up to the header tank. That's how you get filtered fuel. And when you're filling up the header tank, if by chance you should overfill it, you're not going to make a mess because the overflow is going to go into the vent line and via the vent line be returned down to the main fuel tank. So it should work fairly neatly anyway. And so there you go. That's sort of what we're looking at here. And like I say, this steering, it's going to get all neatened up. I have a couple of ideas as to how I want to go about that. And let's see if we can get a shot down here. And it's probably just too dark, but there are two 6-volt batteries that'll be wired in series. There's an ignition coil in there. There has to be an ignition box and a switch installed there. And that's about it. So that's where we're at with the Lawley.